Answering a straight question with a straight answer with WowTech. As of 2014, and it hasn't changed much, 24 states or more had foreign law bans to stop judges from citing or allowing the citing or allowing discussion of any law from a foreign organization, country, or culture. These were anti-Shira laws. Anti-Shira. Yeah. Actually, anti-Shira laws versus Shira laws. The idea is to explicitly state the obvious, that this is a secular country, which also means that your Christian fundamentalist Shira law is also excluded. Atheism for the win. The reason I'm saying it that way is to antagonize people just a slight bit to think about this for a minute. You don't want Shira law? Fine. No Christian laws. Get it? No? Fight me. The majority of people in this country do not want a religion running their government, deciding the laws or anything. If you make a law that Sunday laws have to be put in place because you want people in the pews, we'll just go on PewTube. So anyway, here we go. 1% of the U.S. population is Muslim, on average. In Michigan, it's almost 2.75%. They normally congregate, or cluster, or in an area around a city. The reason for this is really simple. Where's Chinatown in your town? Where's Irishtown? There's lots of towns, some of them very insultingly named. Various groups of people who come to the United States because we're a nation of immigrants, whether you like it or not, collect in some area simply because they're able to get a foothold in an area and make it about them, because it makes it easier. Almost everybody who comes to the United States is running away from persecution somewhere, including Christians. Well, only Christians are persecuted in the United... Can't have it be a Christian country. Sorry. Can't have it be a Muslim country either. So you're going to have to side with atheists, because we want all religion-based laws obliterated. That also includes the ones you like. No, I don't want Christmas renamed to Jackalopeness or, Festivus. We could add that in. But anyway, in Dearborn, Michigan, it doesn't matter what city. We're just going to use it as an example. It's the one that gets trumped up a lot. There's around 98,000 people, so we're going to call them 99,000, 100,000 people. It's been shrouded in a rumor with a high concentration of Muslim Americans inside of a population that now, at that point, exceeded 103,000. It's going up and down by like 10,000. And they won't dispel the rumors by telling you what percentage of them are actually Muslim. They won't. Well, that's not important. It's important enough for the demographics in the United States to actually mention the United States is 1% Muslim. It's a religion, not a race. And 2.75 in Michigan as a state. The reason for this was rather simple. Back when $5 an hour was literally unheard of, a certain company allowed you to get $5 an hour for building cars in the 20s or something crazy like that. I mean, they literally had... That's a lot of money at the time. That's hardcore skilled labor payment back in the old days. Think about that. Who would that attract? People who wanted really good pay. And yes, people who escape a country filled with persecution against them, whether they're Christian or Muslim, will invite their families here because it's safer. It's supposed to be, isn't it? If it's safe for them, it's supposed to be safe for you. Let's keep it safe for everybody instead of deliberately antagonizing each other. So let's talk about some more. The city of Dearborn, along with every other city, won't give us the results on how many people are Muslim in the city because it's none of their damn business, number one. Number two, it's going to change every few days because people move in and out of a big city. That's why big cities, or even medium-sized cities, doing demographics is dumb. On a state level, it's kind of preposterous, but you can kind of nail it down. So what year was it that they were 2.75 Muslim? Could it be a bunch of refugees? Or were they Arabic, not Muslim? Oh yeah, we don't talk about Casey Kasem, do we? Of all Michigan's professionals, people earning big-ass amounts of money, medical doctors, 15% of them are Muslim. Actually, finding out these religious information is all I could find. 10% of the pharmacists are. Dentists, 7%. Same thing with podiatrists. And osteopaths is 6%. What that means is you're probably dealing with, in Michigan, the state, they're only a little bit less than 3% of the population, but they have an overabundance of representation by almost 3 to 1 or 5 to 1, deliberately going after their jobs. No, they have a work ethic that says, no, you will become a professional and become extremely successful so that you have money to put away later. And, oh, by the way, all of them try to save lives or prevent pain. No, we have to say they're tick-a-jibs. Let's look at the language range. 29% Arabic, 61% English. This is in Dearborn. 2% Spanish, 1.5% Polish. Language speaking. But that's Arabic. It's not Muslim language, it's Arabic. Every time you type numbers, you're using Arabic numerals. You're speaking Arabic. What about racial background? 90% white. Yeah, 90% of the people in Dearborn, Dearborn, Michigan, sorry. White, 90. 4% are black, and 4% are Hispanic or Latino. 2% are Asian. Oh no. And such a tiny percent are Native American, Indian, or non-Hispanic race of some kind. Now here's the fun part. 4% said that they were multiracial, so they could cross over here. It could be anywhere. And 0.5% of the U.S. total population claim Arab ancestry. But in Dearborn, 42% of the whites claimed that they were from various countries that are considered Arab. Oh, that might be an issue. Algeria, Bahrain, Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanese, Libyan, Moroccan, Oman Empire former, Palestine, Qatar, Saudi Arabian, Syrian, Tanzanian, and Yemeni. They're getting labeled Arab, not Muslim. Before 2014, most of them were also part of a very specific subgroup of Arabs. Christian Arabs. Now I'm going to repeat that. Before 2014, all of these people you're scared of are devout Christians who are escaping persecution in primarily Arab countries that were Muslim. After that, because of the Islamic State murdering Muslims started running for the country and also had to come in and take a... I don't know if you noticed the timing here. If you're a devout Muslim and you state it because you want to be stating it, you have to state that you will follow the rules of the United States, and then you get an added paragraph. You will not attempt to change the laws to the country you are attempting to escape and fleeing for your life, or something along those lines. You may not have to sign a piece of paper, but you're told you have to say that. You have to acknowledge that the reason you're running away from another country is something you shouldn't cause here. That's the way the rules were originally. That's what they told my ex-wife. You're coming from a country that persecutes people based on religion. That is forbidden here. Did I mention that in the United States, as of 2014, over 24 states banned any law that even referenced Sharia law? If you put it in, it's immediately excluded. You're not allowed to do that. Not even a hint of it. That's half the country, as of 2014, had either put these rules in place on a state level, or tried to, or had it as local laws. Because people got tired of this coming up as a question. Yes, in Michigan as well. Do you know how many Islamic fundamentalists wanted that law put in? Most of them. They're escaping this shit, and they've learned a lesson. Let them come here. Nothing worse than a convert, trust me. Did you know that a bunch of Muslims helped us emancipate our proclamation in our deviation from England? Did you know that they still fought for us? Because we were a free country and they wanted to make sure we stayed free. There's a large number of contingencies of various groups of people that ran to this country even before it was a place to run to. Much to the chagrin of the people who were here. A lot of not all Muslims are Arabic. Not all Arabs are Muslim. And the majority, up to 2014, were absolutely freakishly Christian and did not like Islam one damn bit in Dearborn. Before that, Dearborn was notorious for openly hating on and continuing to harass black people. Highly racially charged area that was getting fed up with it because it got in the way of making money. And also, I'd like to point out, when they put in some of these Muslim shrines, a weird thing happened with the Muslim clerics that escaped horrible things. They began chasing away and beating the shit out of crack dealers. I'd like to point that out. But anyway, many Chaldeans wish not to be associated with the Arab population, and they don't like being categorized like that. So they won't say they're Arab. Please stop saying what country you came from. And if we're going to have a religion argument, we need to actually have demographics about the religion. 1963, mostly Muslim Arab immigrants from Yemen, Iraq, and Palestine helped build the Shia Islamic Center of America. Shia. Not Shira. It's the largest mosque in North America in that town. Or in the area, excuse me. Later on, it was rebuilt to be the biggest one. It's not a recent thing. And again, at the time, most of them were Christians that helped build it. You didn't know that? I said mostly. It was a community effort. They wanted them to have their own church. And because there was a lack of churches in some areas for this, mosques, they put in the biggest one they could. Tourist attraction for 1% of the population in the country. 2010, a group of Christians and Tea Party provocateurs that ruined it all started handing out leaflets and shouting conversion messages deliberately to, and very much so, to antagonize the Dearborn International Arab Festival. It's not a religious festival, it's Arab festival. They filmed the incident, and the Tea Party provocateurs went out of their way to yell racist bullcrap at them. You can watch videos of this. The city of Dearborn was found to have violated the constitutional rights of these individuals and jackasses and jackboots, calling them anti-Islam group, because some of them were, and ordered them to provide identification and move at least 5 blocks away so they couldn't interfere with a essentially non-religious group. But the city of Dearborn was required to stop doing that. An ACLU filed an amicus brief in support of protesters' plans. So when they did protest in front of this again, speaking about Islam and free speech, complaining about it, the mosque was placed on lockdown so that it wouldn't be part of the process. And 30 police cars were there to block traffic and prevent a counter-protest by Muslims. The agitators and provocateurs were mostly former Islamic fundamentalists that were converted away from it because they got fed up with Islam too. And they went to the smallest population they could find in the group, Muslims, presumed, at the Arab meetup. It was Arabs, not Muslims. They were screaming at people in most cases that were Christians. Devout, overt Christians being yelled at and called Muslims. Bias and presumption. Dearborn is not primarily run by Muslims, and it does not have a Sharia law set up in it. It's actually forbidden it. There are sub-courts, they're mediators and arbitrator groups that try to prevent people from going to court by solving things using Sharia law ideas. I think that's objectionable too. But they're not actually courts. You can refuse. But then can you have the homeowners association in the area overruled by law? Would you like that? I would. We should do that here too. Okay? And what would they do to atheists preaching against both groups? Would I get my ass kicked by a bunch of Christians? Answer below. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good life.